One Zambia, One Nation. A warm welcome to the news on Zanis with me, Kalan Muchima. First, we look at the headlines. Water blues affect service delivery at Tafaransoni Rural Health Center in Chadiza. Cooperatives in Mansa receive empowerment loans. World Bank to construct boarding facility in Mafinga district. In sports news, Zambian inmates to take part in international chess competition. Those are the news headlines, and now the news in detail. Some expectant mothers in Chadiza district are being forced to go with their own water to Tafaransoni Rural Health Center due to lack of the commodity at the facility. And Tafaransoni Rural Health Center medical laboratory technologist Takulo Mbonavi says the facility has been running without water since June 2022, a situation affecting the health workers' effectiveness towards service delivery. More in the following report by Jubel Zulu.
They say water is life, but the absence of this precious commodity at Tafaransoni Rural Health Center since June 2022 is affecting the people. Earlier, the Chadiza Council reported to have worked on the pump, but the situation on the ground has not changed.
This facility we have been facing water challenges since 2022, June and July. From rainy, there's no water. It has a lot of challenges, especially in maternity ward, because there's no running water. So every time the mother comes that side, we need the people who came with the mother to come to go out and fetch water from the boreholes.
The maternity wing is greatly inconvenienced. Health personnel have not been spared.
The distance is very far, but they have to go there, they have no choice. But so this is a very big challenge for us, even for us as the staff, especially my colleagues who are based in maternity ward. It's a very big challenge.
Jubel Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza district, Eastern Province.
Still in Eastern Province, over 500 people in Ukwimi farming resettlement area in Chief Sandwich Chiefdom, Lusangazi district are facing a critical shortage of safe drinking water, forcing people to draw water from shallow wells. The water situation has been compounded by the drying up of the only borehole in the area that was drilled in 2000. One of the residents, a 70-year-old Rachel Zulu, says people wake up as early as 04 hours to fetch water from the shallow wells in the Dambo area where animals also drink from. Ms. Zulu has appealed to government and other well-wishers to drill a borehole to help address the water challenges. This came to light when Lusangazi Council Chairperson Blackson Tembo visited the area to appreciate challenges people were facing in terms of access to clean and safe drinking water. Another concerned resident, Leah Tole, from Village 13, explained that men usually start by removing the sand from the well and wait for the water to settle before they can allow women to draw at least 2 buckets of water per household. Also in the news, Acting Minister of Health Charles Milupi has officially launched the human papilloma virus HPV vaccination campaign aimed at controlling cervical cancer in the country. Mr. Milupi, who is also Minister of Infrastructure and Urban Development, said the HPV vaccination campaign focuses on administering the vaccine to girls aged 9 to 14 years. He told journalists in Osaka today that the campaign will be conducted from 25th to 30th September 2023. Mr. Milupi noted that HPV is a common infection that affects both men and women, adding that it is primarily transmitted through sexual contacts and can lead to a range of complications, including cervical cancers in women. The minister said cervical cancer is the most common cancer among women and accounts for the majority of cancer-related deaths in the country. He explained that Zambia records more than 3,000 new cervical infections every year, out of which more than 1,900 women die from the disease annually. And the Ministry of Health focal cancer point person, Paul Kamfwa, said the government is constructing cancer hospitals in Ndola and Livingstone to help address some of the challenges faced by patients. Dr. Kamfwa noted that the construction of the 2 cancer hospitals is progressing very well.
The New Dawn government, under the leadership of His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, recognizes the importance of improving access to HPV vaccinations as an initial step towards achieving the cervical cancer elimination agenda. In this regard, the following measures will be introduced with immediate effect to enhance national cancer control program. 1. Lowering the age of eligibility for HPV vaccines to as early as 9 years. This will offer more opportunities to reach all the girls with this vital service before they become sexually active. This in turn will significantly reduce the incidence of HPV-related diseases and save countless lives. 2. Roll out the new recommended schedule of administering only 1 lifetime HPV vaccine dose. Available evidence shows that a single HPV dose for girls with a strong immunity is as effective as receiving multiple doses. It is envisaged that administering 1 dose will widen the coverage of eligible girls by reducing the logistical complications associated with repeated doses for both providers and the beneficiaries.
The government is working hard because we only had 1 cancer diseases hospital. The government has started building another cancer diseases hospital in Ndola, and the work has already started. Then there will also be another cancer diseases hospital which will be built in the southern region, in this case Livingstone. All these measures are being done by the government so that we mitigate what is happening.
Now, 18 cooperatives in Mansa Central and Bahati constituencies have been given loans amounting to over 4 million kwacha. Luapula Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinama has handed over the loans to the beneficiaries and the Constituency Development Fund CDF monitoring vehicle for Mansa Central constituency. Kennedy Chomba brings us more in the following report.
Loans are among the components of the Constituency Development Fund, whose aim is to help entrepreneurs grow their businesses. However, in Mansa district, there are few entrepreneurs who are successfully managing to apply for these loans under CDF for both Mansa Central and Bati constituencies.
2022 was too struggling to finish the 4 million, meaning an application to Repanga, Tafaransoni. We have got in the 2023 funding, the 4 million. We only have 7 successful applicants. We have a very big challenge. So we need to sit down and see how best we can ensure that the applications go through. Chawamisha, an application in the
The few entrepreneurs who have managed to access CDF loans in Mansa district are fully aware of what is expected from them.
To my fellow entrepreneurs, that one is a loan. And the loan has a cost, and the cost is interest, and it has to be repaid or amortized over an appropriate time. Let us work hard as per inspiration from the head of state that it's work after work after work. That is aimed at excavating what you've been doing already. And let's be accountable. Let's have financial management skills in order to grow, because the business should grow. That's the aim.
Meanwhile, Mansa Central constituency has finally received this Land Cruiser for monitoring of CDF projects, and Luapula Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinama wants all CDF projects in the district monitored.
The receipt of the Mansa Central Constituency Development Fund vehicle is monitoring works and other CDF-related activities in Mansa District. As now, the 2 vehicles are now in the custody of the Mansa Municipal Council. Enhanced monitoring of projects will contribute to ensuring that quality works are delivered within the required time frames.
Kenneth Chomba, reporting for Zanis News in Mansa District.
Still in Luapula Province, and Chelenge-based Community Club has commended the Transforming Landscapes for Resilience and Development Trilog Project team for funding their piggery project. The elected members are optimistic that the project will improve their livelihoods. Here's a report.
The Chelenge-based Community Group is among the beneficiaries of the Transforming Landscapes for Resilience and Development Trilog Project. The group received a grant amounting to over 400,000 kwacha to venture into piggery production as a source of livelihood.
Twambiri okukula ekikulu twakula twalieshte nkumba twashireta kufuma mukwamba kushiteka shalisa kwata mafumo toshakweta mafumo shalisa fyala abana bonse abali 24 kubika po isho twakwete shiri 5 shabana 31 isho twakwete kwa hiyo twalibula poshimona tuchita empower ba member besu pakwe bati nabo bambi okuitekela kulya kuntu bali kunchende lo pali ino shapano panchende tusherefe nenkumbe shiri 10.
Other group members also share how they are benefiting from the project.
Twakwete 408,000. Turetotera sana abantu mulimo baturetera mulimo ukankara sana kairo muri obukumu. So twakulalira nakambi tureromba kuli bene bare twafurisha byafina mufyo turepeka turepanga ukuthi tungachita tukachiteba kese baka twafurishe ukabiri nakabiri yafina
retotera fe batradi pa obukumu batupela bantu tatwaishibe okwebati kuntanshi tukabange efi twamba okuba pali inonshita kwati ture mfamo nechirumba kumubulimo ifine nga chakwebati nkumba twashitisha mukwaikala kalupia tule bale tupela kona fwebo twakwebati filafine panga ndalimbi tapali fyakulya bakupela ko akalupia akanangunika 100 kwacha filafine watwala panga ndawashita mu kisense.
Chelenge District Trilog Operations Officer Chuan Pili wants beneficiaries of livelihood programs to work hard in order to realize benefits of their projects.
They know very well why they started those projects. They know what issues of climate change, and for us to at least reduce dependence on the natural resources, that's why they are giving those livelihood activities. So my appeal to them is all those groups that have benefited from Trilog, all those groups that have benefited from Trilog should not lose the vision. They should continue working hard, and they'll see the bigger benefits from these investments that have been done to them, that were given to them.
Reporting for the News in Chelenge District.
On that note, we take a set of commercials, and of course, still to come is environmental news. Stay with us.
Hello, it's time for you to know your rights. For ignorance of the law is no defense.
People should report any case of gender-based violence to the police. They should not be tempted to compromise the cases, because compromising a case of gender-based violence is actually an offense.
Zambia, like any other country, has got laws that govern the welfare of its citizens.
We provide some check, some oversight on the police service.
When an officer misconducts himself, he's alone. One person being beaten is enough for the commission to move. The Constitution tells us that the people of Zambia must enjoy their liberties.
Every week on Thursday at 19:30 hours, the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis, brings to your screens a program dubbed Police and the Community.
If we, the police, and you, member of the public, will work together, because the common enemy we have before us is the criminal.
Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel. Life is a journey full of varied experiences. Can we reach our desired destiny? Can we achieve our desired goals? If yes, then how? Join Juliet Mutale on Thursday at 18:30 hours on How I Made It, a program that highlights various success stories from different personalities with different life experiences and backgrounds. Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel. For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. The Wildlife and Environmental Conservation Society of Zambia, in collaboration with the Worldwide Fund for Nature WWF, is set to launch a Smart Climate Actions Zambia project in 25 schools in Itezhi. The sub-project, which falls under the community-coined Climate Actions Initiative, aims at encouraging climate-friendly practices among school children. Frederick Mwansa now reports.
The Wildlife and Environmental Conservation Society of Zambia will this year implement Smart Climate Actions project in Itezhi to promote and demonstrate climate-smart actions among school children. The sub-project is under the community-coined Climate Actions project funded by the Worldwide Fund for Nature.
We continue doing the Voices for Just Climate Action program in Itezhi through our community-coined Climate Actions project. And one of our exciting targets that we have set for 2023 to 2024 is that we have seen that schools already locally initiated organic gardens in schools, and that is climate smart. So we are targeting to have at least 25 climate smart gardens established in schools. These are gardens where school-going youth and children can learn about sustainable agricultural practices, so the use of manure, using agroforestry, planting trees where they are growing vegetables, planting crops that are early maturing, or plants crops that are drought tolerant, which are some of the major climate change impacts experienced in Itezhi.
Meanwhile, local leaders have welcomed the project.
So we are happy that even some schools, they are now doing some projects. The Smart Climate Garden. They've chosen 5 schools now where they are going to promote smart climate gardens. This is where we are going to do to practice ways of gardening in which it is friendly to the climate.
The project will build capacity of children in practical climate smart techniques such as tree growing and establish platforms for practical climate engagement. Frederick Mwansa, Zanis, Itezhi.
Now, on a sad note, Southern Province Commanding Officer Alexensio Daka says police have managed to retrieve the bodies of 2 female illegal miners who were trapped by sand when mining tin in Choma's Masuku area. Mr. Daka says the 2 accident victims, Janita Sianjani, aged 37, and Matrida Sinamwenda, aged 40, all of Muchukwa village, were retrieved last night after an extensive search. The bodies of the deceased have since been deposited to Choma General Hospital mortuary. Mr. Daka has further revealed that the surviving accident victim, Omet Mwende, is currently admitted to Choma General Hospital but is in a critical condition. And Choma District Commissioner Gamela Skalea says government is saddened with the death of 2 women. The district commissioner who visited the scene of the accident said it was sad that people are still engaging in illegal mining activities despite government providing various incentives to support formalized small-scale miners. And speaking in a separate interview, Southern Province Mines Manager has called on local communities to desist from illegal mining and form cooperatives to receive support from the government. Mr. Banda said the department will not relent on sensitization programs until illegal mining activities in the province are reduced. We now move to Northern Province, where the local authority has cautioned illegal booth operators in the Central Business District. Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Charity Chaiwila says the local authority is saddened with the increase in the number of illegal booths being mounted. She says those who wish to erect booths should seek permission from council offices. Here's a report.
These mobile booths have helped in creation of employment for young people in Kasama district. However, some of these structures are illegally mounted as they are not registered with the local authority. This is why the Kasama Municipal Council has called on all booth operators to register their businesses to avoid being in conflict with the law.
We want to appeal to the members of the general public, those that want to deal in this kind of business, to ensure that before they could launch their business, let them come to the council so that an allocation can be decided and we can give them where to mount. So this process of identifying the unauthorized booth is actively being looked at so that all those that have not been given can be removed.
Ms. Chaiwira has cautioned those who be found wanting.
We want to give a word of caution to the members of the general public, those that want to venture in this kind of business to ensure, or any other business, to ensure that they pass through the local authority so that they are given the necessary information and the permit where they should do their business without any disturbances.
Some booth operators have advised those operating illegally to visit and register their booths with the local authority.
so that ulebomba uli free pako bazitakwete amasakamika yonse yakwebati kuti basandikate in time so kunakozesha bwo kuti ati bakubuku kukanso kujya barembesha bashita register business yawo pakwebati yambo kwenda kunona.
Reporting for Zanis in Kasama, I'm Jafet Monkondia.
We take another break, but still to come in the news, World Bank to construct boarding facility in Mafinga district. Stay with us.
Hello, it's time for you to know your rights. For ignorance of the law is no defense.
People should report any case of gender-based violence to the police. They should not be tempted to compromise the cases, because compromising a case of gender-based violence is actually an offense.
Zambia, like any other country, has got laws that govern the welfare of its citizens.
We provide some check, some oversight on the police service.
When an officer misconducts himself, he's alone. One person being beaten is enough for the commission to move. The Constitution tells us that the people of Zambia must enjoy their liberties.
Every week on Thursday at 19:30 hours, the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis, brings to your screens a program dubbed Police and the Community.
If we, the police, and you, member of the public, will work together, because the common enemy we have before us is the criminal.
Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel. Life is a journey full of varied experiences. Can we reach our desired destiny? Can we achieve our desired goals? If yes, then how? Join Juliet Mutale on Thursday at 18:30 hours on How I Made It, a program that highlights various success stories from different personalities with different life experiences and backgrounds. Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. In education news, Chief Mwene Wisi of the Lambia people in Mafinga district, Mchinga province, has expressed happiness following the World Bank's announcement to construct a fully fledged secondary boarding school in the chiefdom. The traditional leader says having a secondary boarding school in the area will help reduce the high levels of illiteracy. The World Bank is putting up the education facility in partnership with the government, and Mchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule says government will see to it that education is made available for all. Mr. Mkongole assured the chief that the construction of the school will soon start, adding that preparations have reached an advanced stage. Still in education news, Samari Cooperative from Northwestern Province has donated 150 uniforms to Kamikubo Community School in the rural outskirts of Mushindamo district. We have more in this report.
This is Samarai Cooperative, one of the cooperatives being supported by Kansanshi Mine PLC. The cooperative has donated a total of 150 school uniforms to the learners at Kamikubo Community School in Mushindamo district. Mulonga Ward Councillor Andrew Mukopa received the donation on behalf of the school.
Today we are in receipt of 150 school uniforms towards the community school. We are in receipt of this gesture through Samaria Cooperative, which they are working hand in hand with the cooperative together with Kansanshi.
Mr. Mkopa further employed parents and guardians to encourage learners to prioritize education.
To us parents, we are also encouraging our children for better school, better education. Do not encourage them for early marriages.
Kansanshi Mine Contracts Manager Pamela Chola had this to say. And the school head teacher highlights some of the challenges the school is facing.
Pupils may suffer during the rain season because of the structure we have today. We need a school classroom block, 1 by 3, 3 handles for our teachers, toilets, door.
Samarai Cooperative has trained other women in tailoring and has procured sewing machines to empower the women. Reporting for Zanis, Muichechpoya, Mushindamo District, Northwestern Province.
However, in Mchinga Province, pupils at Tundwe Primary School in Kanchivia District are learning in grass-thatched enclosures after their classroom block had its roof blown off by heavy rains in November last year. School authorities have improvised enclosures made of grass and set under trees to protect the pupils from the direct sunlight. This came to light when Provincial Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule visited the school to monitor the progress of a 1x2 classroom block being constructed using the 5% disaster component under the Constituency Development Fund CDF. Mr. Mukungule advised Kanchivia District Commissioner Crispin Chilekwa and Town Council Assistant Civil Engineer Lakson Chishimba to see how they can roof the old classroom block. He noted that children must start learning under a secure roof in the old classroom block for the time being as they wait for the new classrooms still under construction. Mr. Mukungule was happy with the workmanship but urged the contractor to hasten the work so that the pupils could move into the new block. He also advised the community to apply for the construction of another 1x3 classroom block under CDF, saying the one under construction will not be adequate to cater for the over 400 learners at the school. Farmers in Chavuma district in Northwestern Province have expressed gratitude to the Food Reserve Agency FRA for the prompt payment of the maize purchase. Josephine Banda reports that the farmers spoken to are excited with this year's crop marketing season, saying they are being paid within 24 hours after selling their produce. Take a look at this report.
President Hakainde Hichilema attaches great importance on the plight of rural farmers and the agriculture sector, as farmers are the foundation of the country's economy. It is for this reason that farmers in Chavuma district have praised the Food Reserve Agency FRA for creating an enabling environment to easily get paid.
Mvua yetu tushikunia ngano ya FRA mwaka
tunawahilira tunasuluka hakulima chetu ivale kulanda chauno mwaka mwande tunawahilira wakwetu wakaefara yena wana kulanda bino bivale na wakwetu wana kutupimina bino bivale wana twasuluka nao wana kuzata milimo kanawa wose nane tumane tunasuluka kwese kana mzitopinga na kulanda le hano yaka ahulili mane kulituzangula
nangwa mono jinjeke ja jivulu bivale nao hano haweuka wetu mwamono na wabi nakumuo oyo chuma chachele muchikuma yetu banjimwande ne tunakufuira ke chimanga watu zolo kuli fulumende
ono mwaka twaanza tukana kulipigasha kwa chindende kutuka mtaka kwa ozo walitwa anza tunekana.
Meanwhile, some casual workers have an appeal to make.
Hano wele likumbira mundu ngana mnalitoka nalishako bene ngocho oloze lazima tutuna kuzacha lazima letu nonyima ngana watu hano manga tunatwasi kulikafa nawo china kumbata lola la nene chikulu shikangane tunawatia kutuhaka komangana momone tunawa katuchokosa kuwana lola chaka wakungana ngwetwa na pia na kusita jipisi weki kwekana mangana tuwane kucheka ya kwanda kumba soko ngana inapo ya uji tunafanya wene milimo tuna kusita wene hano mangana ya kiko nawa watu amke kumu washuwashi na kutuhana ngakozi kwetu yetu.
Government remains committed to strengthening and supporting farmers to secure the country's food reserve. Josephine Vander reporting for Zanis, Chavuma district in Northwestern Province.
And finally in the news, Zambia is for the first time set to compete in an international chess competition for inmates next month. The competition is scheduled to run from October 3rd to 11th, 2023. Chess Federation of Zambia President Leslie Chikose says 8 inmates from Lusaka Central Prison and Mwembeshi Maximum Prison will compete in an online competition called Third Intercontinental Chess Championships. Chikose says this will be the first Zambian team of inmates to compete in an international competition. He said among countries taking part in the tournament are Serbia, Italy and United Arab Emirates. Chikose has further disclosed that the Gift of Chess, which is an organization trying to promote chess among inmates, will this week begin the selection of players who will be part of the team to represent Zambia. He said players that are performing well in different correctional facilities will be the ones to be picked and trained in July this year. The Chess Federation of Zambia, in partnership with the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts and Gift of Chess, launched the chess in correctional facilities and refugee camps.
For the tournament, basically, for the prisoners, which is starting in October, the prisoners already have trainers that basically are going to train. And as you may be aware, Chess Federation of Zambia, in conjunction with Ministry of Sports and our colleagues from the Gift of Chess, did launch the chess in prison. And we have already given them chess sets, so they've been practicing. So basically, we'll look at the players that have, that are performing so well in different correctional facilities, and then we will be able to pick the players that will perform in the tournament. So far, I think that we will be getting some computers and so on to try and help them, have to play online.
As we end the news, we have a recap of stories that made headlines once again. Water blues affect service delivery at Tafaransoni Rural Health Center in Chadiza. Cooperatives in Mansa receive empowerment loans. World Bank to construct boarding facility in Mafinga district. In sports news, Zambian inmates to take part in international chess competition. That's the end of the news. Thank you so much for your company. On behalf of everybody involved in this production, my name is Kala Mchima, wishing you God's blessings. Bye-bye.